Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I wanted to go through social media week 11, posting and return on investment. And so this is the final lecture in our class. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been really exciting to be able to design a class like this, and I hope that you've grown from it since. Of course, we still have the group project, which will consume the final few weeks of class, but nevertheless, I wanted to thank you for being here. And so social media deals with a lot of different advertisement contexts. And when we're thinking about KPIs and we're thinking about different kinds of social media strategies, do I put this picture of, a meal on Instagram, or does it belong on Pinterest, or should I be putting it on Facebook? And, how much interactivity do I want with my ads? I might have a little bit more on, say Twitter or Instagram than I may on Facebook. Social advertisements are ways in which we're pushing along for, again, further customization with our own consumers. So these advertisements are online displays that incorporate or use user data into the ad or in the targeting of the ad. So social advertisements are generated in part by artificial intelligence, by external information. It could very well be that advertisements may change or may be, um, you know, customized to you based on geographic location toward a store. So you may be inclined to have coupons or other advertisements that are sent to you because you happen to be next to a Dunkin' Donuts or a Cold Stone ice cream shop for that matter. So this allows for some sort of social interaction. Social engagement ads contain ad creative. So along with an option to encourage the viewer to engage with the brand. So it could be a commercial in which the user gets to pick what happens next, or the user is asked to visit the website, or the user is asked to, click on some sort of tool or item or instrument in the commercial to further along the commercial. So the level of engagement that is enabled by these social ads has been unprecedented. And again, it allows for customized connection. Audiences feel as though these advertisements were meant for them, that companies knew who they were. And through cluster analysis and factor analysis and some of the other statistical methods we've gone over in class, we're able to target media users for better ad experiences. We've alluded to this earlier, but I can't understate this enough. User generated fan art is something that has really allowed companies to better understand what people like, what people perceive as popular with some of this. And you can see here with even the shows, you can see what people like about these particular shows. Fan art is kind of a reflexive way in which to better understand what strikes a nerve with fans, what parts of the show are popular. If we think about this, we only watch the TV show, and that's about it. Netflix knows when I've paused, when I've stopped. Netflix can measure a whole host of other items, but we also know that if we look at, even basic television, it's very difficult to know what characters are resonating with people. Why do people like what they like? So this again allows for a lot of data touch points. You're able to see what people like, what people share, what people comment on, what people keep drawing and keep reposting. This could serve as evidence for why a character is popular, why a storyline was so popular, why it resonated with people so much. So you can see here, and this is a textbook shot that I have. I wish it was lit a little bit better, but I was struggling with this. But this is a really nice breakdown of social media. And aside from it not being as crisp or as bright as I'd like it to be, I want to show you that you can see here active monthly users for all of the different kinds of social media platforms. Average CPM right here. Pardon me. So the CPM right here will tell you how many cost per thousand. And so you can see here $7.19, $10, $5.68, $27. So again, you can see how expensive it is to get onto particular um, social media platforms for that matter. We also have a percent here of millennials. You can see millennials are very much interested in Facebook, a little bit less so with LinkedIn. You can see the pros and cons here as well for each social media platform. And so Facebook is the largest social network. Twitter is often really, really good for television. Instagram is excellent for a strong millennial following. It's really, really good with strong brand imagery. And then LinkedIn is useful for connecting with professionals. Pinterest is really, really good for shopping. And Snapchat is good for, something that's transient, something that's quick, and that has a call to action that allows people to engage. So quite honestly, interactive advertisements may do very, very well on Snapchat. But again, you can kind of see here pros and cons of each social media platform. So it's really, really up to you as you're creating your Hootsuite mechanisms that you want to be mindful of what Facebook, what Twitter, what Snapchat, and what Pinterest can do for you. And you can see here that there are different pros and cons here with each kind of platform here. So in looking at a case study, one case study about a really, really good social media campaign and really a company that's been able to leverage social media well is Tito's Vodka. So Tito himself built Tito's Vodka through visiting festivals and bars and sharing the story of his handmade vodka. The brand persona he uses is an image of the bottle label, and it's at Tito's Vodka. Fresh Start campaign. This invites people who search for a new direction in life. Lying down the middle on the left, participants write down what they love to do. On the right, people write what they are good at doing. And so Tito reminds participants that their future should cross between passion and talents. And, hashtag Tito moments. So you can see on the Twitter handle there that it's really empowering people to take over their lives and to really take over their futures as it is. And so we can see with Tito's Vodka, Tito's claims to be the vodka for dog people. This is why we have dogs all over the place. So Spotify playlist has been created, which features famous dog songs like Hound Dog and Who Let the Dogs Out. Fans contribute user-generated content here at Vodka for Dog People. 80% of social media posts are replies to fans. Its posts average about 500 interactions per post. After initial dialogue approach to social media, its engagement has risen to 162%. Organic impressions from fans sharing content, 81%. Community membership has increased more than 10%. Facebook community is 70,000 people. Instagram is 40,000. Twitter is 50,000. So again, Tito has been able to build a really, really great brand that really has nothing to do with dog raising, but nevertheless, it was a market that he claimed. And additionally, he was able to also empower people by creating something that we all struggle with, right? If you can think about something that's universal, like our future, and worrying about our future and wondering what our future is going to be, that's universal. People in their 20s worry about their future. People in their 30s worry about their future. People in their 40s worry about their future. People in their 50s worry about their future. People in their 60s worry about their future, maybe a bit less. But by and large, the future is unknown. So this is a really nice way to get universal participation in this particular campaign. So what do we post? We post blogs. Blogs are really, really crucial because if you're going to post a blog on a social media platform, it's really, really nice as kind of a cornerstone. It does allow for opinion pieces and advice and listicles. It's really, really good for search rankings if we're thinking about search engine optimization. Blogs are easy to start, but they're difficult to maintain. So you want to be sure about where you're writing your blog, what might be the best platform. Facebook may very well serve as the best place to do this. Miniature blogs, that is. I don't even know that 500 words would be too long, but it's something to play with. A few paragraphs here and there can serve as really nice miniature or micro blogging that allows you to really talk about your brand, talk about in this case, for you, ladies and gentlemen, your social justice campaigns in a way in which that's fresh, original, and organic, and helps stoke interest for the cause itself. Articles. If you want to place some photos and do an interview, articles are really, really great to post online. They do address issues your fans face with an objective writing style. So you have here kind of more of a voice. You're probably doing interviews. I would push you to consider doing an interview if you're going to do an article. It's helpful, it's informative, it allows search rankings, thought leadership. It's really, really good for a company website as well, or a guest post. Key to solicit ideas and drafts from subject matter experts. So that is one item that I would say is a bit different from a blog. You're looking for external references. Interview somebody part of your social justice movement. Interview somebody who is an expert, a PhD who's been studying the Me Too movement or has studied abortion or what have you. This will add added credibility to your article. Infographics. We like infographics. Many people love infographics. They're visual representations of data, great potential to be shared. They're really, really good for Pinterest and SlideShare. They do require some designated expertise, but you can see here that if we're looking at infographics, see if we can get something from ESPN here. So infographics are really, really nice. Yeah, this looks good. So you can see here kind of an instance of this. These infographics are fun, they're easy to share, and so it's a really nice way to share with people just images in general. And so you can see here, these are instances of infographics. There are these one sheets that have enough information that you need, and then you can kind of move along. And ESPN has been remarkably popular and good at infographics, and pushing stats and things like that. If we look at infographics we can do Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why I keep having coffee on the mind when I talk to you guys, but again, a really good infographic here. Pardon me, 77% of people claim that iced coffee makes them feel more productive at work. 64% gives them mental edge. 55% they feel cooler and trendier by holding a cup of iced coffee. And so again, this could be something that is sent to advertisers, public relations people, or your fans, the people that follow you, the people who might be interested in something. And again, this is a really fun way to spread information and to spread research. And as an avid researcher myself, I have grown to love infographics. What do we post? Videos. Some of you on your social media platforms may wish to post videos. Do it. Post videos that you've made. Post videos from elsewhere, whatever you wish. Videos have become a dominant force in content marketing. Styles include how-to animation, documentary, demonstrations, high engagement, usually really, really good conversion. Obviously, this is best on YouTube's videos and any kind of blog that you might be writing. But YouTube and Vimeo are primarily, of course, where we house videos. You may want to put a video in your blog. You may want to have a video in your article as well. Again, for something that is a bit more attractive. The New York Times actually has done quite well at this with interactive articles. I just wanted to show you a few things that they've done, and they've been really, really adept at this. In fact, for anyone here, I encourage you to look at some of the, that's unfortunate. I encourage you to look at some of the interactive articles that they have on New York Times. You might be able to log in here to do so. Unfortunately, I'm getting hit with paywalls here. But nevertheless, it's useful to do so because you're able to see kind of how these articles are shaped, how they should look, and things like that. So, as we move along here, podcasts. You may want to record podcasts for your final group project in which you're posting particular kinds of content. It's booming in popularity, great audio. It appeals to mobile users. You can place it on blogs, iTunes, and other podcasts. It's really useful for people, especially people on the go, especially people who, may be interested in listening to what you have to say, but can't sit down. So it's a really nice alternative, especially if you're in the gym on the treadmill. You may not want to listen to, any kind of techno music or, Avicii or anybody, and you may want to just listen to something a bit more intellectual or stimulating or what have you. Podcasts are really useful for that. Case studies. Case studies, like we just showed, are really, really awesome. You get to share the story of a client's success. Powerful sales, credibility booster. It's really useful. You see it on every kind of market research website out there, advertising website, public relations website. People want to share their success. People want to demonstrate that they're competent. People want to demonstrate that they're capable. Social intelligence model. So what you want to be thinking here is what your social media command center is, and that's where we get into Hootsuite, your central hub for visually monitoring social data. And again, that's going to be your Hootsuite there. You may want to also do some text mining, the gathering and analysis of text data from relevant sources. So a lot of data is collected here. Both from people sharing, liking, also what they write as well. You can kind of do a sentiment analysis to get a better sense of how people are feeling. So you can break down these metrics through a few manners. Activity metrics, you can measure the actions the organization commits to social media. This assesses campaign effectiveness. So again, you may do a pre-post, right? You may measure for people's sentiment, people's awareness, how people feel about a topic. I don't know if you guys are going to be using Qualtrics to do this. I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do this for the group project. That would be the fourth piece of software that you'd be learning, and so I have to figure that out still. Interaction metrics focus on how the target market engages with the social media platform and activities. Return metrics focus on the outcome that directly or indirectly supports the success of the brand. The return on impressions model demonstrates how many media impressions were generated by the social media tactics. So again, these are different ways of looking at KPIs. In the past, what I've done is you send out a survey, you figure out what people are aware of, how people perceive something, then you have an online campaign, and then you survey people from the same population again. So if you are friending and following St. John students, you can survey some people, and then you can put out an ad campaign, assuming that they're following you at that point, assuming that you've friended them on all your social media platforms. You can help raise awareness and then see how you did. Return on social media impact. This may rely on advanced multiple regression analysis that may examine how much explained variance comes from sales and promotional tools. There's also A/B testing. This is a strategy in which you're able to kind of see two versions of a message if they're tested against each other and how that works. It's an experiment in nature, and it's often used for websites as well. Baselines. So this is what I was talking about earlier with baselines, is this notion of a pre, right? You want to get a sense of how people are before you offer something else. So this is a metric that allows a marketer to compare its performance on some dimension to other things. Comparing performance to that of competitors for the same timeline is a useful activity. And then content consumption. Who is interacting with and consuming the brand-generated and consumer-generated content? Finally, return on investment. This is what we're worried about with social media. We're trying to determine ultimately the measure of profitability here. It is meant to measure how effective a company is at using capital to generate profits. We may ask how much income was generated from investments in the activities. And so for social media, this may be known as social media return on investment. And so this concludes really the last lecture that we're going to have in class. I will be guiding you on the group project as we move along, but I want to thank you all for signing up for Media Analytics. I look forward to the next few weeks as I'm helping you with your final group projects, but I hope that you felt that you've grown in this particular class and that you've gained a lot of sense about media analytics.